me today is a force to be reckoned with. You may know her as Lauren, or if you're a fan of Vanderpump Rules, you definitely know her as Lala. But unless you have read her book, there is so much that you have no idea about. She's a makeup mogul and actress and mama to the cutest little baby girl, Lala Kent. Welcome to the middle.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, congratulations on the book, Give Them Lala. I loved it and I read it so fast. So, what was the writing process like for you?
Oh, the writing process was very intense. I basically, sat down and there was so much that I wanted to tell, but I knew that we had to stay in we wanted to stay in the 12 chapter range. And so it was kind of a process of elimination. What was sticking with me, what kind of formed me the most. And I kind of just went through and X'd out what we weren't going to use. And once we narrowed it down to what the chapters were, I spent, and I kid you not, 12 hours a day in my bed, which was fine because, we started before the pandemic, but a lot of the writing process was during the pandemic. So it was perfect timing. That was, a silver lining besides my daughter was the process of writing my book. And I just, any thought I had was just going onto my computer and it was very therapeutic for me.
That's what I was going to ask. I feel like you share so much. Was there anything that you were hesitant about putting out into the world?
I would say the chapter where I speak about my abortion was definitely something that I was ping ponging in my mind. And my publisher said to me, I don't know that you're going to get the response you think you're going to get when you write about this. And I thought, I have to share this because so many women are struggling with this decision. And if it's a decision they make, it's hard to come to terms with it and feel peaceful after.
Mhm.
And I just wanted people to know that I've been through that as well. And you're not by yourself. Like I understand. So that part, and then also opening up about things that I did when I was drunk. And I shared a lot and I know that it made for interesting headlines, but I felt the need to share that because so many of my friends were shocked when I came out as an alcoholic. They just knew me as someone who was like a really good time and down to party. And it was important for me to share those moments that I did a lot of things that were horrific and mean. Sorry.
Oh, you're
um,
good.
when I was drinking. So and that was important for me to share. So even though it was very entertaining for people and I'm sure
Yeah.
people laughed, I needed people to know that I was not okay.
No, and people, especially like I've watched all of Vanderpump Rules. You think and I'm an entertainment reporter. I know how
Yeah.
it works, but still when you're watching a show and you see a person and then you also are seeing what you put out online, but there's so much that isn't put out there. There's so much that a viewer does not get to see. And
Right.
I think what you did is amazing, and you're very strong to put it on. Now you're gonna make me cry. I'm pregnant, so
We're
um,
both very hormonal.
yes, but I no. So congratulations. I think that what you did was very strong, and I want to know, what has the response been like? Have you know, has anyone reached out that you're like? I imagine there have been people that you've touched, and maybe they haven't reached out because maybe they're not ready. But have you had any people?
Yes, I've had an overwhelming amount of DMs that, and I'm sure, with writing a book or putting yourself out there in any way, you're going to get negative and positive. I
Sure.
have yet to see any negative feedback. I've gotten so many people saying that they relate to my story, and that was my one hope. I knew that I wanted it to be entertaining, but at the end of the day, I wanted it to be something that people could relate to. It
Mhm.
wasn't just about here's my story and I hope it's interesting enough for you to care about.
Right.
So let's find common ground with each other. And even though you may watch me on TV or you may not know me from Adam, this is a story that shaped who I am, and we all have a backstory that shaped the people that we are. So, yes, from people talking about the abortion chapter to, their parent dying or them trying to get sober and struggling with addiction, I felt like there were so many people that I had a bond with that I had never met before.
Yeah, it's so relatable. And in reading. I mean, I feel like it on a much lighter note, in reading this, I felt like we were meant to have this conversation because I too always wanted to be a famous movie star. I also got highlights for the first time in fourth grade. What else? My mom would take me shopping and always do the right thing when like other kids were
Yeah.
being the worst. And I also didn't kiss a boy until ninth grade. I'm like, okay, me and Lala are like meant to be friends. I love it.
See? Yeah, like we all have more in common than we think.
Exactly. And also I wanted to tell you, so like I said, I'm pregnant right now. One of my best friends just had,
Congratulations, by the
thank
way.
you. One of
You
my
you
best,
look amazing.
that's so sweet of you to say, but I was just going to say, me and my best friend who just had her baby, we coined the term having a Lala pregnancy because you look so amazing the entire time. We're like, all we want is to have a Lala pregnancy. Like if we can look like that, then we are
You
winning.
are so I mean, you look fantastic. I think that it really doesn't matter. It's such a mental thing. You know, even though someone tells you you look incredible, your bounce back was amazing, you know, you still go into this place of like, but my body is different. My body's not mine anymore. And so a million people can tell you you look fantastic, but it's all in here where
Oh,
you're like, but
mental.
things are just sitting different.
Yeah, and my face looks giant. Like it's so weird too because I feel like you're at least for me, like you go your whole life and you're like, oh, I want to be skinnier. I want this to be slimmer, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're pregnant and you're a lot larger. And I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, like your mind can't like grasp it quick enough. Like
Right.
it's so interesting.
No, it is. I
But
know exactly what you're talking about.
so would you do the pregnancy thing again or no, because the psychic already predicted your life and that's not in your cards?
Well,
We
now
can
that the
talk
psychic
about that
told
too.
me now that the psychic has told me that I have one boy and I have a girl, I'm like, "No, I'm having a second baby." Like,
Okay.
I can't I loved being pregnant. I mean, besides the fact that it was very just not knowing what she was gonna come out like.
Yeah.
You know, she was struggling since 20 weeks with her stomach. But the take that part out of it, I loved being pregnant. It was, like, so much fun. I was and I was in a pandemic. We were all in a pandemic, you
Right.
know? I got to wear sweats and watch Housewives all day and not feel guilty about it. It was awesome.
I love that. Now,
Yeah.
can you tell me anything about this new season of Vanderpump Rules and you've started filming it when you were still pregnant, right? Or did you already have the baby?
No, so we kind of found out that we were picked up for another season basically when everyone else did. And
Right.
they said we really want to pick cameras up to get you and Sheena before you give birth. And I said, "Well, it's Thursday and I'm having this baby on Sunday. So, when are we doing this?" They said, "Tomorrow we're coming to the house. Like just be prepared." So they started filming then, which was in March, but we didn't really pick cameras up and start storylines until May.
Okay. So what was
Yeah.
that like as a new mom? And did that change the what you allowed them to shoot or what you were comfortable putting on camera or just like your mentality in general?
You know, I got lucky because I still had about 2 months to just sink into being a new mom. Whereas Sheena's the real champion. I mean, she had her baby the end of April. And, you know, I believe that Summer Moon was maybe 2 weeks when Sheena started filming. And we also got lucky because in the state of California, they kind of abide by the same law as actual scripted television and movies. So our kids could only film for 20 minutes at a time. And then they had to go elsewhere. So that was hard to not be around Ocean because I was a brand new mom and I had to leave her behind a lot. And I struggled with that. It was like I then knew what people said when they have mom guilt because I
Yes.
had that for most of, the first 3 months of Ocean's life. I was like, I need to be home, but I also have a job to do, which is real life. But if we didn't have this law, like my kid would be coming with me everywhere and I probably wouldn't be dipping out to parties left and right,
Yeah.
So that was a struggle for me.
Now, did you have any hesitation in putting her online or putting her on camera or did Randall like or was it always just like, look, I'm out there, so the baby's going to be out there too?
I never had any hesitations because I understand what I signed up for. I'm not a movie star. I'm not a musician. I'm a reality TV personality. So this is my life. I think maybe if my role was different and I had that option, which I'm sure I had that option. I'm sure if I talked to production, they would have been very understanding. But I'm on a TV show about my life.
Yeah.
So I was okay about that. Now giving Ocean her own Instagram that's not on private,
Yeah.
that's another story. That freaks me out just a little bit.
Yeah. No, she's so cute though. And I love the way you dress her up. So I'm glad you're sharing her because she's adorable. Now,
Thank you.
of course. So would you, you have so much going on right now. Like, what is it that is filling your cup? What is the thing that you would like to do more of? Or should I say, like, what's next? Is there another book? Are you going to focus on the makeup? Is acting still at the forefront in your mind?
I kind of love doing it all, but I would say my main focus would be the Give Them Lala brand. I've been working on it for many years. We finally got to expand into skin. I now have a baby line that's under the same Give Them Lala umbrella that I have the best time doing with Ocean. And so I that's my baby. And I'm just trying to, the brand is hovering above the ground and I'm trying to get her to
Yeah.
fly into the atmosphere. So that's my main goal. But acting, it's a passion of mine. So I never want to stop that. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. And what about another book? Because you did such a good job with this one. Or is this like a one and done thing?
I don't think it's a one and done thing. I rarely say no. I love the process of writing the book. And it's crazy because while I was writing the book, I then got pregnant. So I feel like like the book, I'd lived 100 lifetimes since I had started that,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It was like, well, now my life is completely different. Whereas before, when I started writing this book, it was like, this was my life. And now I'm starting a completely new book, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I would definitely love to write another book.
Awesome. Well, in the meantime, everyone needs to get this one. Give them Lala. It's so good. Lala, thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you.
It was great talking to you too. And how far along are you?
I am six. So wait, 26 weeks on Wednesday. Yeah. I'm doing December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Due in December. Well, you look fantastic. Enjoy every second because it goes by very quickly.
Thank you so much. I know. I can't believe we're already here. I'm like, this is
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Your
Like,
baby's coming soon.
yeah. The furniture is like not in the room yet. And I'm like, oh God, like this is crunch time.
Oh, I was the same way, but you'll pull it together. You go into mama mode and all of a sudden everything's done.
Love it. Okay. I'll
Love
take
it.
your
Thank
word
you for
for
having
it.
me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, babe.